Okay, I'm going to start this video with a couple of examples, FOIL examples. The first, we'll just do one of them. 8x minus 3 times 2x plus 9. So we need to distribute between the minuses and pluses. That's a minus, okay? You can go plus negative if you want, okay? So 8x to 2x and 8x to 9. Then that's done, then I'm going to distribute the negative 3 times the same two terms. So I'm going to have x to the second, 8 times 2 is 16. X, 72. X is going to be negative 6, and then negative 27. Now, x squared is 16. 72 plus negative 6, that is going to be 66, okay? Negative 27. So we have 16x squared plus 66x minus 27. Okay, and that is your product. Now, how would you get from here to here? Well, we're going to figure, because that seems like a chore. I mean, a major chore. Well, now we're going to factor. Factor the expression. I have a funny way of teaching this. It's different than most teachers, but it does get the job done. Okay. Okay, 4x to the second plus 7x plus 3. We don't have the implied 1, so just making an xx is not going to cut it, okay? Because you got A, you got B, you got C. Just like you did yesterday, you can write GCF. And move over here, okay? And these are not equations to solve, so you come over here, you make your table. And then if A is not an implied 1, what I'm going to set up are 4 parentheses, okay? 4 of them. You'll see why there's 4 here in a minute, okay? 4, 7, and 3 are only in the first row, and the 3 doesn't have x, so we're not doing the GCF. Now we take A times C, and that's 12, positive 12. That's why I said in the last video, get in the habit of taking the A times the C. We are adding to the B, which is positive 7. Okay, so we got positive, so I'll start with negative, negative. I can always switch them to opposite if I have the wrong sign. 12 divided by 1 is 12. That adds to negative 13, not even close. Divided by 2, you get 6. That's negative 8, not even close. Divide 12 by 3, you get 4. Okay. Now, negative 3 plus negative 4 is negative 7. I need positive 7, so I go plus, plus. Now, some of you are like, why do you have 4 parentheses there? Well, you can't just go XX. What I'm going to do is lead in with a 4 in each parentheses and then go XX plus 3 plus 4. Now, we know that this is wrong because that's 16x squared, and that's not what I have. Well, you're going to divide in each parentheses by the greatest common factor. 4 and 3 is a 1 GCF, so that will stay the same. I mean, you can divide them by 1, but it'll be the same. Now, cross that out. 4 and 4, they're the same number. You would divide each one of those by 4. Okay? Don't look at the chart when it's the same number. You just divide by that number. And that becomes 1x or x. I don't care if you put the 1 there, and 1. Now, what do you do at the 4 you divided by? Nothing. It's dropped. Okay? So that's 4x squared matches, and then 4x times 1 is 4x, 3x, that would make 7x, and 3 times 1, 3. Bam. Works every time. Okay? 2x squared minus 7x plus 6. So A, B, C. Check for a GCF. It's just 1 again. Okay, and then we proceed with the problem. Okay. But if A is not a 1, if there's a different number there, we need to make 2 sets of parentheses instead of 1. So 2 times 6 is 12. It's positive. So again, we're adding to get negative 7. Okay, kind of like the last problem. I think I know what it's going to be. I mean, it can't be 1 and 12. Okay, negative, negative. Divide by 2, you get 6. That's negative 8. Divide by 3, you get 4. Aha, negative 7. Okay? Now we are going to apply a 2x and 2x. Take whatever the a is, okay? Minus 3, minus 4. So 2 and 3 are only in the first row. So that factor remains 2x minus 3. This factor, 2 and 4, are in the second row on your chart. So divide by 2 and you get x or 1x minus 2. Okay? 2x squared, that would be negative 4x and negative 3x. That would combine to negative 7x, and then that times that's 6. Got to be right. Okay, next one. Now, this is why you do the GCF check, people. Okay? Because the GCF, it's not 1. These are on the second row, so it's 2. You can't do an x, but dividing it by 2 will help me. So I make my GCF box, okay? And you're going to factor out just a 2 without x, okay? Because you can't divide by x here, you don't have it. So 2 divided by 2 is 1. Now put the implied 1 then, okay? Minus 7x minus 18. And that is now my new ABC. Whoops, I should have labeled it ABC to begin with. So this is the new one, okay? 1 times negative 18. It's going to be negative 18, so it's a positive times a negative whenever you get negative, and you're adding to negative 7. So divide 18 by 1, you get 18. That's negative 17. That's wrong. 18 divided by 2, you get 9. Add those. Aha, that would be negative 7 with the right sign and everything. Now, your a is not 2. The 2's out of the expression. That's why you need to put ABC. My a is back to being an implied 1, so I just need 2 parentheses, okay? So x plus 2, x minus 9. Now what do you do with this 2? That doesn't just go away. You put the 2 in front of the parentheses, okay? Because this hasn't been rewritten. So that becomes now 2 times x plus 2 times x minus 2. So that's what I mean. You're going to get burned if you don't do the GCF. You have to at least check it. 8x squared plus 11x minus 10. ABC. So we do a GCF check. 8, 11, and 10 are just in the first row. Okay? And you wouldn't do x because you have that constant. So GCF's not worth doing. Okay, then I make my table off here. And I take a times c. It's going to be negative 80. So negative means one's positive, one's negative. And you add the factors to try to get to positive 11. So 80 divided by 1 is 80. That's not even close. 80 divided by 2 is 40. That's not even close. 80 divided by 3. Not even a factor. 4 is 20. So I go 4 with 20. Add those, you get negative 16, but at least you're getting closer, okay, to the 11 you're looking for. 80 divided by 5. I got 16. Why don't you add those, see if that adds to 11. At least add to some kind of 11. Okay, negative 11. I need positive 11, so I make the 16 positive and the 5 negative, because now negative 5 plus 16 is 11, positive. But your a ain't a 1, okay? It's an 8. So you make 2 sets of parentheses, okay? So 8, 8, x, and then minus 5 plus 16. Now in your multiplication table, 8 and 5 would just be in the first row, so that factor remains 8x minus 5. 8 and 16 is in that, yeah, it's in the second row, but down further it's in the fourth row, and even down further than that it's in the flipping 8th row, so divide by 8, okay? That's going to be 1x plus 2. It's the furthest row you can find them, okay? Alright, and I did, GCF was 1. Don't put a 1 there, that's stupid, okay? 8x minus 5 times 1x plus 2. Okay, next up, we got 12x to the second plus 36x plus 27. So I go A, B, C. Okay, A, B, C, we do a GCF. See, A, B, just an A and a B from a couple days ago, you do that GCF and you're ready to, your factoring's done. But now I do the GCF, then I have to do something after. I got to make my table and the parentheses. Don't make the parentheses just yet, though. 12, 36, and 27. You check your table, those are all in a common row. The common row they're all in is 3. So you need to factor out a 3. Okay. So factor it out, then divide by 3. And we have 4x to the second, that's my new A, plus 12x, that's my new B, plus 9, that's my C. So now I do the AC from there. So 4 times 9 is 36. It's positive. Okay? So we are adding to try to get to positive 12. Now positive product would be up. Negative times a negative. I can always switch it to positive times positive if it's the wrong sign. 1 and 36. Not even close. Divide by 2, you get 18. Not even close. Divide by 3, you get 15. Now if you don't, just add them. If you think it's, nope, that's not going to work, okay? Divide by 4 is 9, okay? Ooh, that's close, but not quite on the money, so negative 13. It can't just be close. 36 divided by 5 is not a factor. 6 and 6. What happens when you add negative 6 to negative 6? Aha, you get negative 12. We need positive 12, so I'll just go plus plus. 6 plus 6 makes 12. Okay. All right, now, what's your A? It ain't 12, okay? It's now 4. So when I apply my 4 parentheses, I don't go 12x, 12x. It's 4x, 4x, plus 6, plus 6. Okay, now you're going to divide each one by its greatest common factor of 2. They're both in the second row, so that's going to be 2x plus 3. Divide by 2, 2x plus 3. Now you actually had a GCF. That wasn't a 1, so that 3 comes here. Okay, by the way, the numbers you're dividing by here you do nothing with. Okay, they vanish. But that GCF does not. Now, when you have identical factors, here's how you need to write it. You write 3 and make a parentheses to the second with 2x plus 3. Because you're taking something times itself, so we express it to the second power. Okay, now what's the point of this? Well, now you're going to solve equations. Now, in this part, I have put I've made you 4 boxes for each problem, because this is what I want you to start doing. 3x squared minus 2x minus 8 equals 0. You have 2 solutions to the problem, okay? Now label A, B, and C. 0, you need the 0 there, okay, so that's good. Okay, do your GCF. See if you have to do it. 3, 2, and 8 is just 1, and then 8 doesn't have x. So GCF of 1, I will not do that. Now I'm going to make this big, huge box here, split it in half. This is for the table. This is to do the parentheses, okay? So 3 times negative 8 is negative 24. So that'd be a positive times a negative. 24 divided by 1 is 24. So add, you get negative 23. That is, we got to add to get negative 2. Okay. Positive, negative. 24 divided by 2 is 12. That adds to negative 10. 24 divided by 3 is 8. That adds to negative 5. You can stop when you get the right number. If it's the wrong sign, that's easily fixable, but we have to at least have the right number. Okay, add 4 to negative 6, I think. That's negative 2. Yeah, negative 2. Now down here put what A is. A is 3. Okay. So since A is not an implied 1, you need 2 sets of parentheses. with the equals 0 down here. So you're going to go 3, 3, and then x and x. Then plus 4 minus 6. 3 and 4 are just in the first row, so you can drop that expression down. 3 and 6 are both in the third row, so I divide by 3, and that become 1x or x minus 2. Now this is the appropriate factoring. Check it. 3x squared, negative 2, 3 times negative 2 is negative 6x, plus 4x, that's going to be negative 2x, and then negative 8. So you got your F1 and F2 right there. Okay. So 3x plus 4, 1x minus 2, set them each equal to 0 and solve it. So 3x is negative 4, divide by 3. So that's negative 4 over 3. Then plus 2, divide by 1, that's going to be 2. Okay. Those are your two answers. You can always check them by plugging them into the equation. So 3 parentheses, negative 4, ABC 3, raise it to the second, minus 2 parentheses, negative 4, ABC 3, and then minus 8. 0, okay? Now plug 2 in. 3 times 2 to the second, minus 2 times 2, minus 8, and I got 0 there too. So those have to be the answers, okay? Next one, we got 5x to the second plus x equals 4. Okay, so we got A, put an implied 1, that's B, and then C. Well, you got to get this to 0 before you worry about factoring. ABC, just like an AB, has to be to 0. Now, in a future lesson, you're going to learn AC. You do not get those equal to 0, but with A, if B is present in the quadratic equation, you need 0. So I minus 4, okay? And then I minus 4 here because there's no C over there. So A, 5x squared. Then B, plus the implied 1 with x. C minus 4. Okay, equals 0. Now you're ready to rock and roll. GCF 5, 1, and 4 is just 1. 4 doesn't have x, so don't do that. So make your big box. Okay. First for the table, then for the parentheses. Then the work is organized. I know what I'm doing. Okay, 5 times negative 4 is negative 20. So it'd be a positive times a negative, and we have to add to try to get to positive 1. Okay, so 20 divided by 1 is 20. There ain't no way that's it. 20 divided by 2 is 10. That's negative 8. 20 divided by 3 is a decimal. 20 divided by 4 is 5. Add those. I think it's the right number, but it's the wrong sign. Okay, that's good. I stop there. I don't divide anymore. I just need to make it plus 5 and minus 4. Okay, your A is a 5, okay? The last A we labeled was a 5. So make 2 sets. Again, the top is not the proper factoring, okay? Because that's 25x squared, but we're going to get it down to 5x squared in a bit. So it'll be 5, that'll stay 5x minus 4. 5 and 5 divide by 5, don't just leave it, okay? So that's x or 1x plus 1. Okay, GCF was just 1, so, by the way, if it was like 6, you'd put the 6 there, okay, equals 0, so F1, F2. So 5x minus 4 could equal 0, or 1x or x plus 1 could equal 0. So you're going to add 4, takes you to 4, then divide by 5. We'll just leave that as 4/5, okay, if it's a decimal. Then minus 1, I get negative 1, and you can probably drop the 1 because it's still just going to be negative 1, okay? And you can plug those into the equation and make sure it's equal to 0. It is, I'm pretty confident it will be. Okay, next problem. 3x to the second equals 16x plus 12. So we got two answers because it is quadratic. Now you need to label A, then B, then C. If it's got x squared, it's A. If it has just x, it's B. If it's a constant, it's C. Now, you don't have a 0, okay? So, minus your B. Now, you don't have a B over there, so you just put minus 16x. That's your B. minus your 12. You don't have a c over there, so just put minus 12. That's your c. And now I have it equal to 0. So I have 3x to the power of 2. That's my a. b, you got minus 16x. That's your b. And then minus 12 is your c. And you're ready to roll. GCF is 1. Okay. Can't do an x, so then I make my big box. A times c, negative 36, or negative 36. Good. So it's a positive times a negative, and I'm adding to try to get to negative 16. Okay, 36 divided by 1 is 36. That does not add to negative 16. 36 divided by 2 is 18. Positive, negative. Add those. That's a possibility. Yep, right number, right sign. Stop there. Don't have to change signs. That's what I want. I want it at negative 16. If I wanted at positive 16, I'd go plus 18, negative 2. Okay, what's your A? Your A is a 3. Okay, so I need 2 sets. I'll be going 3, 3, x, x, plus 2, minus 18. 3 and 2 are in the first row. So just divide, that would stay the same, 3x plus 2. 3 and 18 are in the third row, so it'd be 1x or x minus 6. GCF was 1, so I don't put anything here. I put equals 0, and then F1, F2. That's how I get my two answers. So 3x plus 2 equals 0, 1x minus 6 equals 0. Minus 2, you get negative 2. Divide by 3, you get negative 2/3. Then plus 6, I get 6. Divide by 1 is still 6. Okay, then the last one in this video. 3x to the second plus 24x plus 45 equals 0. So it has two solutions, A, B, C. You got your 0, so that's good. GCF can't be ignored here because you got 3, 24, and 45. Check your third row in your multiplication table. I think they're all there, so it's 3. You can't put x with the 3 because 45 doesn't have an x. Okay, so you make a little box at the top to do your GCF work. Factor out the 3. Then divide everything by 3. And that becomes x squared, or an implied 1x squared, plus 8x. So A, B, plus 15, C. Then I make that big T box, okay, in the parentheses down below. But now I'm taking 1 times 15. A is 1 here, okay. It's an implied 1. So positive 15. So negative, negative. We can always switch it to positive, positive later. And we're adding to positive 8. But on a positive, the signs have to match, okay. On a negative, they have to be the opposite. So 15 divided by 1 is 15. That does not add to positive 8 in any way, shape, or form. Divide by 2 is a decimal. If you divide by 3, you get 5. Add those. I think that's negative 8. Well, that's good. I just need to change the signs, both of them, so they're opposite. There you go. That's positive 8. Now, my A is 1, Holmes. It ain't 3 anymore. My A is a 1. So if A is 1, we can forget the 1 and just make 2 parentheses with x plus 3, x plus 5. Now, when you do a GCF, when you actually do that, you drop that in front, okay? Equals 0. All right, now, the F factors are here. Since the 3 doesn't have an X connected to it, I don't label that with an F, okay? It's not important. That's the proper factoring, but I just look at these with the factors with the X's to solve, okay? So X plus 3 could equal 0. X plus 5 could equal 0. Minus 3, you get negative 3. Minus 5, you get negative 5. And if you plug those into the original equation, it works. So let's go up to the top. 3 parentheses, negative 3 to the second, plus 24, negative 3, plus 45. I better get 0, and I do. Now go with negative 5. Aha, 0. Okay, we got it.